In this recording, I'm going to show you how to make this word by word fade in title, text, subtitle, however you want to call it. So let's get into it. So before we start, I need to give proper credit. This wasn't my solution. It was a solution that came about via Jake Whip's Discord and was solved by a chap that goes by the name of SuitDragon2000. Many thanks, and thank you for letting me make a tutorial out of this. Okay, so it's actually fairly straightforward and fairly quick. It's just about knowing what to do. So bring the text onto your timeline and put in whatever words you want. So the object is to get these to fade on word by word as the line is read, I suppose. So go into Fusion. Once you're in Fusion, you've got this node template, which is your text node, and you've got your media out. What we need to do is make an instance copy of template. The reason we're making an instance copy is that we need it to be changeable, so that if you change these words, then the copy of templates also changes its words. So select template, Control C to copy, click away, and then Shift, Control and V to paste an instance. You can tell it's an instance because it's joined by this green line. At the minute, this isn't connected to anything. You've just got the green line showing it's an instance. It's not connecting it. So now we need to come to our instance, select it, come to the inspector and go to the shading element. And you'll see the word enabled. Right click on this and select Deinstance. What that does is it means you can change this value in the instance copy without affecting the original copy. So we're going to turn off element 1. If you now come to element 5 and select it, come back to enable, again right click Deinstance and then enable it. So you've now enabled element 5 in your instance copy, but not in your template. Whilst element 5 is selected, it's not enabled, so it won't have any effect on your original text. So come back to your instance copy. We've got element 5 enabled. We're going to come to appearance and change it to border fill. We're going to change the level from character to word. And the magic happens by applying a follower modifier. So still with your instance selected, come to text, right click and select follower. When you select follower, the modifiers tab lights up. So we're going to select that. We're going to come to shading and we're going to select element 5 because that's the element that's got our border fill on it. And all we're going to do is we're going to animate the opacity of this border fill. So come to frame 0, come to opacity, select it and drop it to 0. Come forward about 5 frames and put it back to 1. Next, we're going to come to the timing section and we're going to change the delay so that it carries out the revealing of the words over the duration of the clip. So no matter how long your clip or text ends up being, it will always take that long to reveal all the words. To do that, we're going to come to delay type and change it to, oh, no, you don't right click it, you left click it and change it to between first and last character. Now we're going to right click where it says delay and choose expression. And we're going to type in a simple expression that goes comp with lowercase c dot render with uppercase R and end without a space but an uppercase E and then -5. The 5 meaning that we've taken the delay added at the start, and it means that the last word then gets revealed, otherwise the last word doesn't get revealed. And if we now click that and play it through, what you see is that these blocks appear one after another. And all we're going to do is use those blocks as a mask on these texts. To do that, you're going to take an output from your instance and pipe it into the blue input of your template. And now wherever you've got a white block, the text will be revealed. If there isn't a white block, the text won't be revealed, like so. And because we put a few frames over the opacity, it fades in rather than just popping up. And that is the basic system used to get the word-to-word fade in, or word-by-word fade in, should I say. So now we'll take it to the next level and we will create the titles that we saw at the beginning of the video. So again, put your text on your timeline, put your text in. Obviously you don't need to stick with open sans semi-bold, you can use whatever font and face you want. Take this into Fusion. Again, we're going to be using instances, but this time we're going to use two instances. The first instance will create the box behind our text, and the second instance will be our mask. So we'll do the box instance first. So copy, click away, Shift, Command and V to paste an instance. Now if you take the output of your template and put it onto your instance, you're now layering one above the other. At the minute nothing appears to have changed. Come to your instance, go to the shading elements, select element, right click and de-instance, enable, right click and de-instance, and then uncheck enable. Come to element 4, right click enable, de-instance and enable it. This gives us our box of sorts. So we need to change the character or the level from character to line. If you want, you can pad this out a little bit and maybe round it off. And then we're going to change the color to just off white. We're going to come back to our main text, go to shading, element 1 and change the color to black. So now we have our text on the box. Now we're going to create the second instance, which is the one we're going to use as our mask. With your second instance selected, come to shading, go to element 1, again de-instance select elements, de-instance enable, uncheck it, go to element 5, de-instance enable, check it, border fill, and change this time from character to word. Now go back to your main text tab, right click in the box and add your follower. Go to modifiers, shading tab, element 5, and we're again going to keyframe opacity, but this time we're not going to keyframe it from 0. So go to frame 0, set the keyframe and set a value of about 0.2. Now come to frame 5 and put it back to 1. Now again come to your timing tab, delay type from first and last character, and then you want the expression on your delay the same as before. Comp.render end with capital R and capital E -5. Attach it as a mask, to your template, and now you have faded letters but not no letters, and then as it plays through, the faded letters are replaced by black letters. And again, because of the expression, it doesn't matter how long this text is, it will run for the duration of the text. So if your text is 2 seconds, it will take 2 seconds to play through. The last one I've come up with so far is one that will allow us to highlight a specific word as it's being said, and I say that in inverted commas, roughly as it's being said. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. Again, into Fusion. Again, we're going to use 2 instances. So Control C to copy, click away, Shift Control V to paste an instance. Merge one onto the other. Now this time we're not going to make boxes, we're going to keep the text the same, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the instance text, I'm going to go to the shading tab, and I'm going to right click the word red and select de-instance color group. So what that will let me do is have one color text for this instance and then another color text for the template. I'm going to select the template and I'm going to change the color to yellow, like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the mask instance to mask each word so that as it's being spoken, it will change from white to yellow. So we're going to create our second instance. Always make sure you click away because otherwise it merges and causes all sorts of hoo-ha. So we've got our second instance. We're going to come to shading again. We're going to go through the whole de-instancing and changing elements. Again, I'm going to select 5, de-instance, element, enable, and enable it. Set your mask up again by word, and then back to your text, add your follower, go to modifiers, come to shading, element 5, and again we're going to keyframe opacity, but we're going to do it slightly differently. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to frame 0, we're going to set a keyframe and set opacity to 0. We're going to come to frame 5, set opacity to 1, and then we're going to come to frame 10 and set opacity back to 0. So now if we view this, it goes on and goes off again. So we're going to come back to the timing tab and we're going to do it pretty much the same. So between first and last character, put your expression on your delay, comp dot render end, capital R, capital E. This time we're going to go -10 because that's the length of our animation. And now what will happen is each word will appear briefly and work along the line. So if we now apply this mask to our template, you get all your text as white, but as the words are processed, each one will turn yellow. Now I don't know a way to time this exactly to the word. It will time to the phrase if you're using it with subtitles, but I can't get it to go to the word, so that's kind of what we're stuck with. What you can also do, if you don't want it to fade in and out as it's doing here, is you can set it to come on and then go off. To do that, you would go to your spline window, which is at the top here, click the word spline, make sure your instance mask template thing is selected, go to opacity and check it. Click the zoom to fit button, select your three keyframes, and then if you come down to the bottom, you've got various icons. The fourth one in is step in. If you click that, it does exactly that. It holds a keyframe's value until the next keyframe, and then it instantly jumps to the new value. And what that will do now is your words are on and off. And again, over 5 seconds with a few words, it doesn't look particularly stunning, but if you drop the length of your text, it's more noticeable and looks more effective. I created the intro animation using Orson Lord's Snap Caption plugin. I'm not going to go into great detail about that here, but what I will do is I will leave links in the description that will get you the plugin, and then have various videos and things that explain how it works. I would also urge you to join Orson's Discord, where you can get sort of troubleshooting help with the plugin. I hang out there as well as on Jake Whip's Discord, so may well answer your questions if they pop up. So that's basically it for this tutorial. I will have a think and see if I can come up with other ways of using this basic system, and if I do, I'll post them. What I might do in the near future is bundle up a couple of these. So these three effects particularly, the original fade in text, this word by word highlight thing, and the boxed faded text thing that I did. I don't even know what to call it. I'll bundle them together as plugins and I'll make them available. As and when I've done that, I'll do a quick video just to sort of say that they're available and how you can use them. In the meantime, if you're new here, welcome. Please feel free to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we'll catch you on the next one, whenever that may be.